Oh, good. These are one-sided. Perfect. I'm gonna. No, this is fine. I'll just doggy them.
Yeah, it's better to dog.
Yeah. Yeah. Which you were never allowed to do in school. Oh, I guess I can hear myself, so I guess I'm doing a sound check here. Where is Diane, the visitor Diane? Oh, she's in the office prepping. Yes. Yeah. Okay. Good thing.
Look at beautiful Leanna blowing in here today.
Gotta get this.
Many people who recovered memory, focus, and mental clarity stopped eating this innocent vegetable very common in the kitchen of 98% of Americans. And the worst part is that no matter how many medications you buy,
Christine. Oh. Wow. Elegant, elegant. I heard you're running out of, yeah, running out of town.
Today's wisdom story is learning about Christmas Eve and Hanukkah.
Oh yeah, my son and husband are coming in tonight. So yeah, they'll be here for almost 2 weeks.
I want to read it.
Yeah. I think you should be, no? Well, wherever you're comfortable.
Kathy, right here or here? Where do they usually sit?
Sit what? Oh yeah, there.
Here?
And that's an old stain on the chair. Don't worry about it.
Hello, Ken. Can you hear me now?
All best blessings to you in this winter holiday season.
Gotta make sure this good. Silenced.
Miss Karen's final
Center
answer
view.
is, I will not be reading the story today. Sadly.
I like your vest. Your stole.
Oh, this?
Yeah,
To other people, but to myself,
Okay, you can read. Do you want to take your jacket off?
No.
Okay.
somebody got to see.
Hello and welcome to River of Grass.
Easier if I do this. Yeah. If I sit here. Yeah, I know.
We are
I turned my
enjoying
phone off.
a cozy day
And,
together.
oh, same color band. Interesting. Diane's. What's your favorite color? This is, by the way, this is my granddaughter, Alessandra. Allie.
They didn't put my last name on there.
Very My daughter's name is Anastasia.
Oh, that's a beautiful name.
I'm actually recently doing a story
You are?
for the Ritter Broward Literature Fair, and it's about bipolar disorder, and I'm doing it based off the gods of Greek. One of my characters have my name as a story, but I'm not sure yet.
We call her Anna.
Yeah, because it's like a shorter English name.
So, did you get inspired by a movie? Anastasia.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, a rule.
We just wanted something meaningful. I don't know. Suits her.
So, Allie, so when she was born, she's turning 12.
Uh-huh.
There was this fabulous supermodel, a brunette supermodel.
Oh.
Italian.
What was her? Alessandra D'Ambrosio.
Yeah, it was like
But she
someone
lived in Brazil. You know,
Yeah.
a lot of
But we saw ads of her
So-
in Spain.
Priscilla named her after because she came out with dark.
Isn't it funny how
Hello. Hi. Hello. Welcome. Hola. Hola. Hola.
Yeah.
Hola.
Okay.
Hola. Hola.
So I've tried to dog ear these. Well, you may be using your own notebook, which
I
is
have
fine.
my own.
Yeah. Okay. Then I'll just slide mine over.
Okay, thanks. I'm just gonna put that on top and then I'll bring it back.
Perfect.
Navidad. Feliz Navidad. Imagine we all start singing Feliz Navidad to the mics.
So you sing too?
Yeah, just not in front of people. I sing in front of people. Like I do karaoke.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah. I wanted to read the story.
That's our cue. It's 5 till Peter.
Okay.
Feliz Navidad.
First one is this rose, right?
Yes, I know this rose.
Oh, except we do need someone to do the PowerPoint. Oh, she is there. I just couldn't see her through Kathy.
Katie, this is where Diane, she's our visiting minister today. Katie is your chance.
I don't need a book for this song. I don't know what I'm doing.
We're going to be
Okay.
doing the story. I'm going to read the story. What's your first name again? Karen. Karen, thank you.
So you're reading the story.
Yes.
Hello, friends and loved ones. Nice to see you all. Happy holidays. My name is Theo. My pronouns are he, him. If you'd like to join me in singing our first morning sing song, I Know This Rose Will Open, I need your participation because this one is a round, which means that we are going to sing it staggered together. No one's listening to me. Can we get a little more heat on this microphone, please?
Thank you. Oh,
Can you guys hear me okay? No.
oh no, I'm just.
Hello. Hi, friends, family, and loved ones. Would you like to join me in singing our morning sing today? I need your help because it's a round. All right, I'm thinking y'all will be first, y'all will be second. Got it? We'll start in unison though, so everyone can practice. I know this rose will open. I know my fear will burn away. I know my soul will unfurl its wings. I know this rose will open. I know this rose. I know this rose.
I know my fears
I
will
know
burn
my
away.
fears will burn away.
Will
I know
unfurl
my
its wings.
soul will unfurl its
This
wings.
rose
I
will
know
open.
this rose
I
will
know
open.
this rose
I
will
know
open.
this rose
I
will
know my
open.
fears
I
will
know
burn
my
away.
fears
I
will
know
burn
my
away.
soul will
I know
unfurl
my
its wings.
soul will
I
unfurl
know
its
this
wings.
soul
I
will
know this
open.
rose will open. One day. I feel like that song's a little bit more impactful when it's icy outside, but we don't have that problem. All right, round two is, what is our next song?
Here we have gathered.
Here we have Ooh, I like this. Here we have gathered, gathered side by side. Circle of kinship, come and step inside. May all who seek here find a kindly word. May all who speak here feel they have been heard. Sing now together this our heart's own song. Here we have gathered, called to celebrate days of our lifetime, matters small and great. We of all ages, women, children, men, infants and sages, sharing its battles, sorrows and regret. But in the shadows, let us not forget. We who now gather know each other's pain. Kindness can heal us. As we give, we gain. Sing now together this our heart's own song. Oh, let us gather at this river. Let us gather one by one. Let us gather at this river. Let us gather one by one. Let us gather at this river. Let us gather one by one. Let us gather at this river. Let us gather one by one. At this river. Let us gather one by one. Let us gather at this river. Let us gather one
YouTube is streaming. So let's begin our service. If you wish to follow along with the service, you can scan the QR code on the screen or go to riverofgrassuu.org and click on Order of Service on the homepage. Welcome to the beloved community at River of Grass Unitarian Universalist Congregation, both here in person and love streamed on YouTube live. We celebrate in all the ways we find to gather our beloved community in body and in spirit as we go and grow and flow the river way. I'm Diane Diaz, and I serve this congregation as worship associate, sometimes story reader, Jill of old trades, also service. I collect money and I greet people. I think I'm ADD or something. They think I need to be contained. But anyway, we especially want to welcome our visitors as well. And I hope you'll stay for coffee. After the service, if you haven't already, stop by our welcome table to let you know, woo, there they are. Okay. And let us know how to stay in touch with you. You here in the room, we welcome you. Okay. You on Lovestream, we welcome you too. However you made your way among us this morning, we welcome you. Let's pause together to enter into this time, to connect again with one another, with the holy by any name, and light the love within us all as we breathe into our time together. In this congregation, it is our mission to nurture our spirits, love intentionally, and create a just and healthy planet. In our enduring search for truth, meaning, and faith, what we share here is not an unchanging dogma, but an affirmation that we are called to be agents of love and justice, and to build a world where everyone is cherished for who they are. River of Grass is an unapologetically progressive home for seekers of truth, boldly told, love freely given, hope never failing, answering the call for peace and justice for all living things and the earth. Our congregation was intentionally named to lift up the place where we reside, the life-giving Florida Everglades, ancestral lands of the Tequesta and Calusa people, who were victims of displacement and colonization. The Miccosukee tribe of Florida
Enter, rejoice, and come in.
All right. The flaming chalice is the symbol of our Unitarian Universalist tradition, a beacon of religious liberty shining through generations, now ours to hold high. As we light our chalice together this morning, let us join our voices with these words by Langston Hughes. Hold fast to dreams, for dreams die. Life is a broken winged bird that cannot fly. Hold fast to dreams, for when dreams go, life is a barren field, frozen in the snow. And now, in the light of love, let us renew our covenant as we say together, love is the spirit of this congregation, and service is its law. This is our great covenant, to dwell together in peace, to seek the truth in love, and to help one another. El amor es el espíritu de esta congregación y el servicio su ley principal. Esta es nuestra gran promesa, vivir juntos en paz, buscar la verdad a través del amor y ayudarnos mutuamente. waiting for her to fly in.
All best blessings to you.
In this winter holiday season, beloveds, I'm the Reverend Dr. Sophia Betancourt. It is my privilege to serve as president of your Unitarian Universalist Association. And in this season, a season of hope, a season of neighborliness, a season of joy, a season of care, I know that we are coming into these times from a difficult year. And our prayer is that we as Unitarian Universalists will hold fast to our cultural norms around hope and remind one another that hope can be a practice, that hope is a discipline, as the organizer Marianne McCullough tells us, that hope is a promise that we hold in common cause, as the poet Aurora Levis Morales teaches. Hope draws from our historical grounding as Unitarians, Universalists, and Unitarian Universalists, and in times of change, times of deep division, in our faith communities and in the world around us, we hold fast to a posture of hope and use it to drive our commitment to action. In this season, we support and hold one another, even when it's not easy, even if it's not our first instinct. We are reminded by songs of joy. We are reminded by teachings on the dying light and its return. We are reminded by stories of hope being born into the world. We are reminded, beloved, to work for the full equality of our immigrant neighbors. We are reminded to see truth in one another. We are reminded to find the sacred in a breadth of stories, each of them meaningful in our human condition. I know to my bones that despair cannot claim all the space in our hearts, even in difficult times. And I know this is harder for those of us who are particularly targeted by those who wish us to succumb to that despair itself. But we can lean on each other. We can remind one another through time together, through worship, through action in the streets, feeding our neighbors, singing with children, educating each other, reminding ourselves once again of the simple messages of this season and the opportunity of the turning of this year to begin again. In particular, for all of our federal workers, caregivers, those who feel particularly targeted by policies, politics, and a lack of care. Know that we are with you, no matter what, not only in this season, but throughout the turning of the year. Remember the teachings that even in times of despair, hope is renewed between and among us. We're not waiting passively on a miracle. We are working together for our values. And may those values be the guiding light of this season. I love you, each and every one of you. And we will continue together on this journey. May you have time and space for a bit of joy and for many reminders in these days. Hold fast to each other, beloveds. Happy New Year, happy holidays, and all best blessings upon you.
Our wisdom story this morning is Snow Kid by Jesse Seaman. It is read by Karen Gonzalez. I did not test this. Okay. Good. So today's wisdom tale is about a snow kid, but it's also about so much more. Remember our value of transformation, where we adapt to a changing world and transform and grow spiritually and ethically? Sometimes that transformation happens inside of us. And it can cause us to wonder just who we are. Jessie Sima wrote a beautiful book titled Snow Kid to help us consider just this. Unfortunately, our book is lost somewhere on a UPS truck with a whole bunch of other holiday packages. So we're going to use our imaginations today as I tell the story. A kid was made of many snowflakes, sticks, stones, a crisp orange carrot, and one very fine hat. Where the hat's not in this picture? It looks like this. That's why I wore it. Let's call them Twig, said a voice. Twig liked the sound of that. Even after everyone went home to drink hot chocolate, the idea echoed in Twig's mind. I am Twig, thought the Snow Kid. It sounded like a good thing to be. Twig would have been content standing there, frozen and silent, if it wasn't for a frigid breeze that whistled past, taking something important with it. What do you think that is? The hat. My hat, Twig cried. The Snow Kid had never made a sound before. It made them wonder what else they could do. They took one cautious step, and another, and another. It was so much fun to be Twig. But wait, thought the Snow Kid. Am I Twig? Twig had never walked or talked, and Twig wore a very fine hat. But wait, it seemed like the only way to get back to being Twig was to keep moving forward. So the Snow Kid set out in the direction that the frigid breeze had blown their hat. In their rush, they stumbled and rolled and rolled and rolled, picking up snow as they went. The Snow Kid was amazed at how their body had grown. They were made of so many more snowflakes now. And each one was so beautiful and unique. Do all of them make me Twig? They wondered. But wait, thought the Snow Kid. Am I Twig? Twig had never walked or talked or grown, and Twig wore a very fine hat. It seemed like the only way to go back to being Twig was to keep moving forward. So the Snow Kid continued in the direction that the frigid breeze had blown. Eventually, they came to a frozen river. They shuffled and shuffled and slipped, sending their nose sliding and spinning. The Snow Kid scrambled to the other side just in time to see it disappear. Oh dear, said the deer. Was that yours? The deer knew just where to find a replacement. They tried one thing and another until they found one that made Twig feel more like Twig. They ended up with an icicle nose. But wait, thought the Snow Kid. Am I Twig? Twig had never walked or talked or changed, and Twig wore a very fine hat. The Snow Kid kept getting further and further from the Twig that was frozen and silent. It seemed there was no going back, so they continued moving forward in the direction that the frigid breeze had blown, until they came to a clearing full of other snow people. Each was as beautiful and unique as the snowflakes they were made from. They were walking and talking, rolling and sliding, growing and changing. They made it look like so much fun. The Snow Kid would have continued marveling at all the different ways there were to be a snow person if something important hadn't caught their eye. It's the hat. That's one very fine hat, said a snow boy.
It was a very fine hat. "You can have it," said the Snow Kid. "I don't really think it's me anymore." "Wow," replied the Snow Boy. "Who are you then?" "I am Twig," said Twig. Even after they parted ways, the idea echoed in Twig's mind. I am Twig. I am Twig. I am Twig. It felt like a good thing to be becoming.
Join me in singing.
Okay, let's sing our young'uns. Well, they're not so young anymore. Off to class. Bye.
We love you and bless you and send you on your way. We love you and bless you today and every day.
We sustain and strengthen this beloved community and its work in our world through the gifts of our time, skills, love, and our money. Each Sunday, 50% of our undesignated offerings go to LifeNet for Families here in Broward County, where they provide meals, clothing, and support for those in need. The remainder supports our mission and ministry at River of Grass. Ushers, please come forward to receive the offering. You can scan the QR code, the number on the screen, to donate. You can also find several ways to donate on our website at riverofgrassuu.org. Okay. Generous gifts. Our deepening music is hymn number 356, Bright Morning Stars. Please rise in body or in spirit and join us in singing together.
357. Yeah, 357.
Oh, typo.
Bright morning stars are rising. Bright morning stars are rising. Bright morning stars are rising.
Each week we share pieces of our lives. We take a moment to share our joys and sorrows and gratitudes here with people who love us for exactly who we are, where we are right now. Here in the room, we will share from the book. If you're on Zoom and would like to share a thought prayer, it isn't Zoom anymore, right? It's YouTube. Okay. A thought, a prayer, a joy, or concern with us this moment, write it in the chat. We'll lift them up together. I light a candle in my appreciation for the beautiful solstice celebration lovingly hosted by Marilissa and Diane Lade. That's from Sheila. My gratitude to every one of you who row this river so gracefully together, from Leanne. And Alessandra writes, I light a candle for my uncles to join us this Christmas, safe and sound. Merry Christmas to all. Thousands of candles of gratitude are lit for all who helped
make last Sunday cafe concerts such a success. Special shout out to Karen Gonzalez, Diane Lade, Audrey Stang, Christine Barkley, Gary Gonzalez, and Aaron Stang, and everyone who came. We cleared $555.55. That's from Ken. Okay. Thanks for a lovely evening, FMD Full Moon Daughters. I am also so happy to be blessed and have my amazing tweener and my jolly spouse, Mindy. Okay. Anyone on Zoom? No, of course not. They're on YouTube, if they do. Okay. No? Okay. And now, in the quiet of this hour, if there's something on your own heart you wish to mark without words this morning, you're invited to come forward and drop a stone of reflection in this water as we hold one another in sacred community. For as William James wrote, we are like islands in the sea, separate on the surface, but connected in the deep. Let's share a moment of reflection, connecting us to all who are in need. pop in the last one. We lift these things, spoken and unspoken, written and unwritten, asking that our hearts be seen, even as we become seers of hearts, that we may serve one another and those beyond our walls with love and thankfulness today and every day. Amen, 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 aho, ashe, namaste, blessed be, and so it is. Let's sing our musical words on the screen.
From all that dwells below the skies, let songs of hope and faith arise. Let peace, goodwill on earth be sung, through every land, by every tongue.
Each week at River of Grass, to better know ourselves and our faith as Unitarian Universalists, we consider those among us who made history and those who are making history as we speak. Our heritage this morning is Roger Nash Baldwin. Roger Nash Baldwin co-founded the American Civil Liberties Union, the ACLU. He served as executive director of the ACLU until 1950. Many of the ACLU's original landmark cases took place under his direction, including the Scopes trial, the Sacco and Vanzetti murder trial, and his challenge to the ban on James Joyce Ulysses. Baldwin was a well-known pacifist and author. As a conscientious objector himself, refusing even to register for the draft, undergo medical examination, or accept any alternative service such as farming. He was sentenced by the federal court in New York City to a year in a penitentiary. Making history is our UU the Vote and its program Forward Together. UU the Vote is a bold initiative created by the UU Association Side with Love team, providing UUs a thoughtful crafted plug-and-play opportunity to bring our democratic values to life in the critical struggle to build a genuine multiracial democracy. UU the Vote engages people, voter registration, issue education, get out the vote drives, voter protection, state leadership development, and more. Now they've shifted from just election year organizing to year-round movement building, working toward a truly inclusive democracy. Forward Together is a program presented by UU the Vote. After last year's election, it is critical we come together to nurture our spirits and move in our collective power. This is about more than one election. It is about grounding ourselves in the values and communities that drive our fight for justice. No matter your issue, climate justice, democracy, gender justice, or criminalization, we work together. Forward Together, Anchoring in Community Post-Election, is a virtual series designed to offer space for reflection, spiritual grounding, and practical organization in response to the evolving political landscape.
Good morning. I saw a little box filled with kittens the other day. And I walked over to the box and I said, there was a little boy standing there. And I said, they're really cute kittens. It looks like they're newborns. And the boy looked at me and he said, yes, they are Christian kittens. It was right by a church. So I looked at him. And then about a week later, I walked over again, and I saw the same boy standing there, and the same batch of kittens. And I walked over, and I said, "Wow, they are really cute." And the boy said, "Yes, they're Unitarian kittens." And I said, "Wait a minute. Weren't they Christian before?" And he looked at me and he said, "Yes, but now they have their eyes wide open." This sermon is called Finding Wholeness in a Broken World. And Leonard Cohen wrote, "The blizzard of the world has crossed the threshold, and it has overturned the order of the soul." So this talk this morning will be about finding our own way home, finding a hidden wholeness within, and the integrity that comes from being who we are. Leonard Cohen, as you know, was a musician. He was also an ordained Buddhist monk. He was raised in the Jewish tradition. And he wrote many years before he passed, "We are now living in a period of bewilderment, a curious moment in which people seek to find light in the midst of despair and often experience vertigo at the summit of their hopes. It's a spiritual moment also, but here is the danger. People will want to obey a voice of authority, and many strange constructs of just what authority is will arise in every mind. The public yearning for order," he wrote, "will invite many stubborn, uncompromising leaders." Sound familiar? And he concluded, "The sadness of this zoo will fall upon society." So I wanted to start a little bit about bewilderment. People really wanting to find a voice of authority, a leader that we can believe in. Several years ago, I attended a Unitarian conference off the coast of Maine. It's called Star Island. And I met an author, Robert Putnam, who literally changed my life. He wrote a book called Bowling Alone, and he wrote it 30 years ago. And the idea was that even now, people 30 years ago are bowling alone rather than in groups. And then recently, he wrote an article about social isolation, especially young men who are looking for a voice of authority and a sense of belonging. I know that very well. My son lives here in Fort Lauderdale, and he is always searching for somebody, a leader, to believe in. And he wrote, "Social isolation leads to a lot of bad things. It's bad for our health. It's really bad for the country, because people who are isolated, and especially young men who are isolated, are vulnerable to the appeals of a false community." And he looked towards the Nazi Party in the 30s, where they recruited many lonely young German men. And it's not an accident that the people who were attracted to that white national groups were lonely young people. Loneliness, as we all know, and I'm guilty of it myself, it's bad. It's bad for your health. It's bad for the people around you. I was actually really excited when I saw the group White Dudes for Harris years ago, even though she didn't win. But yet, in a place where we're always looking at our outward selves, when we look on Facebook, when we scroll through our social media feeds, we are increasingly challenged by that rift between our private person and the public persona, our inner world and the outward projection. And when you look at people who are vulnerable to joining groups that offer superficial connections, you wonder, how does one bridge that gap between what's really going inside you and what's being offered to you in society? And really, more to the point, how to figure out what we need and also what's being offered. One of my favorite authors is Parker Palmer. He wrote a book called A Hidden Wholeness, The Journey Towards Living in an Undivided Life. It was the field guide on how to live with the grace and dignity and integrity of being your whole self. And he took A Hidden Wholeness from Thomas Merton, which said, "There is in all things a hidden wholeness." For myself, as a teenager and a young adult, I learned that self-knowledge really counted for very little on the road when I was beginning to work. In college, I studied about ethics, and I studied about all the great thinkers and their thoughts. And it was a lot of useful information, but to be honest, it didn't inform my heart. Don't get me wrong, I value ethical standards, of course, but in a culture like ours, which devalues or dismisses the reality and power of our inner life, ethics can often become an external code of conduct, an objective set of rules that we are told to follow, a moral exoskeleton we are put on to prop ourselves up. For me, that was sort of like going to church on Sundays. I was raised Lutheran, and my own minister, he was a wonderful man, but he didn't open or shine my inner light inside. I could slip on what I had heard as often as I could, take it on and take it off. So how do we go towards wholeness and really not feeling divided? And Parker Palmer wrote, "There are reasons for the root of why we feel self-divided. For one, we're often afraid that our inner light will be extinguished, or our inner darkness, most important, can be exposed. And it's easy to hide our true identities from each other. And in the process, we become separated from our own souls. It's very easy to end up living a divided life, so far removed from the truth we hold within that we cannot know the integrity that comes from being what we really are. Real self-esteem is an integration of an inner value with things in the world around us." And Palmer suggests that every outward journey of seeking to make the world more whole is incomplete if it's not accompanied by the inner journey towards the hidden wholeness of the undivided life. And he writes, "It's a journey way beyond ethics, way beyond information. And of course, it's not an ideal. Wholeness does not mean perfection. It means embracing our brokenness as an integral part of our life. In Buddhism, the original nature is referred to, and Quakers call this our own inner teacher. Jewish people call it a spark of the divine, and the Catholic mystic and writer Thomas Merton called this within our true selves. And humanists see it as an indestructible and eternal part of our universe. What we name it, to me, matters little, since the origin and the nature and the destiny of call it what you will are forever hidden from us, and no one can credibly claim to know its true name. But here is the ultimate irony of the divided life. Live beyond a wall long enough, and the true self you tried to hide from the world will disappear from your own view. The wall itself and the world inside it become all that you know. And eventually, you can even forget that the wall is there and that hidden behind it is someone called you. I went to school for interfaith seminary, and they talked a lot about this division, the gap between our onstage performance and our backstage reality. And the important thing is, if we want to create spaces that are safe for us, we also need to understand why the soul so rarely shows up in everyday life. One particular poignant aspect of this soul or inner shyness has to do with our understanding and acceptance of our relationship with solitude. And Palmer writes about the yin-yang with solitude. And solitude doesn't necessarily mean living apart from others. It means never living apart from one's own self. And I don't have to, I feel like I'm preaching to the choir because you live in such a beautiful place, but ways to stay in touch with yourself. Walking on the beach, meditating, writing, praying, whatever your practice is, it's not really about the absence of other people. It's about being fully present to ourselves, whether or not we are with others. Keep in mind, not perfection, but just staying in touch as much as possible in solitude, whatever your practice is. So now I'll talk a little bit about community. Community does not necessarily mean living face-to-face with others. Rather, it means never losing the awareness that we are connected to each other. Our Unitarian principle. It's really not about being with other people in community, but it is having a respect for the interdependent web for which we are all in existence. Fully open to the reality of our relationships, whether or not we are alone. So wholeness, to me, is an integration of that inner value with things in the world around us. An outward journey must always be accompanied by the inner journey. Never losing the awareness that we are all connected to each other, finding our way home. So I spoke a bit this morning about the brokenness in life and of wholeness. And that's why I'm so proud to be a Unitarian, because I find in every congregation a welcomeness, the belief that every part of us is beautiful just as we are. We don't really have to be something more or less. We don't have to hold back. We don't have to hide. We don't really have to exert ourselves or try to do more or be more. We all have inherent worth and dignity. Really nothing to prove here. Nothing to prove to me or the ministers or the people sitting next to you or to the children. We don't have to try to be funny or smart or quiet or more outgoing. We don't really have to change anything about ourselves, our hair, our face. We're all beautiful just the way we are. And each and every one of us, we're different, but we are all still beautiful in our own beautiful way. So please join me this morning in centering, taking a few deep breaths in your chair, as I offer this prayer of intention for this amazing congregation. Spirit of life and hope and the great mystery, be present with us this morning. We give thanks for everyone who has come here this morning and gathered, and those who have also come before us and graced this congregation but could not be here today. May we strive to support and strengthen and build this congregation and shine our light, because it has meant so much to us. And we trust that it will embrace many more people who are also longing for fellowship and for community and celebration and spirituality and solitude. So let us be together in ways that will draw the circle wide and wider still. So may it be, and blessed be, and thank you all for your kind attention.
Our closing hymn is number 121, We'll Build a Land. Please rise in body or spirit and join in singing together.
Land.
I'd love to bring you all back with me, but I don't think you'd fit my suitcase. Thank you so much for being here this morning. Our closing words are by Kathleen McTeague. May the light around us guide our footsteps and hold us fast to the best and most righteous that we seek. And may the darkness around us nurture our dreams and give us rest so that we may give ourselves to the work of our world. Let us seek to remember the wholeness of our lives, the weaving of light and shadow in this great and astonishing dance in which we move.
I extinguished it all already. You know, we've got to separate the Dianes in a better way from that. Yeah. Anyway, I get to do the announcements here.
I'll give you yours.
Oh, yeah. Get back to mine. Okay. Hey, same words here. At River of Grass, we offer many ways to live our Unitarian Universalist faith in action. You'll find them in our weekly email, our YouTube we got to keep on YouTube page, and website riverofgrassuu.org. Here's some upcoming opportunities to fulfill, the mission and vision of this congregation, and other announcements for the life of this beloved community. Hear, hear. The Christmas Eve candlelighting worship service will be held here this Wednesday, December 24th. In keeping with our December theme of choosing hope, the message will be choose something like a star. Cookie hospitality, including traditional cookie swap, begins at 5:30, followed by a service of songs and readings from 6 to 7:30. Cookie donations are graciously accepted. And thanks to everyone who contributed to the fixed price auction, either by donating an event, signing up for one, we made $3,000. And there's more to come, including our silent auction to be held next year. Keep an eye out for announcements in the newsletter. And thanks again to the generous hearts at River of Grass who made Christmas happier for more than 50 fostered children, sponsored by ChildNet. Pictured above are just a few of the toys and gift cards delivered to Marilisa Lawless, the coordinator of the program. River of Grass is truly a loving and caring community. And protests continue each Sunday from 4 to 5 p.m. to shut down Alligator Alcatraz. When we have a group to carpool, we will meet at River of Grass at 2:15, depart by 2:30. Please contact Andy Bunce. Is Andy here? No. Oh, okay. Find a way to contact him. Or Susan Scotch Bejarano for carpooling details. Oh, here. Andrew, no space, Bunce at AT&T.net. In these changing times, let us be more vigilant to hold before us a vision of our world transformed and dare to transform ourselves to make it so. Until we meet again, shine on. And now I invite you to hospitality. Enjoy coffee, great snacks, and some are even more fabulous, and fellowship.